your husband off. Then head this way to bin 39. You get 20% off bottles of wine. Start there. Then you can hit the 200 shops, museums, restaurants, chocolate, fudge, ice cream, gelato, 3 pizza shops, a Harley store, a taffy store. Oh my God, Augie's making donuts. Augie's, they are so good. And from Ripley's to here, I'm lazy, right? 10 minutes. So all of a sudden you're like, honey, you're going to the daycare. They make great sandwiches, and if you're a Guinness drinker, you drink Guinness? They know how to pour a proper Guinness. So there you go, he's ready to go. He'd probably go right now if I'd stop the train. All right, who likes pirates?
Arr.
Arr, arr, arr. If ye be liking pirates, up ahead off the starboard beam, that be the front right corner of the train, just past the traffic light, is the Pirate and Treasure Museum. They have one of 4 Jolly Rogers in the world that is a real pirate flag found by Jacques Cousteau. Who's seen the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie?
Yeah.
One of the swords Johnny Depp used is in that museum. No, he wasn't here, his agent was here, but it's still cool. So there you go. On the left, Castillo de San Marcos, Castle of St. Mark, 1672 to 1695 it was built. That fort is made out of coquina. You only get coquina in 2 places in quantity in the world, here and in Puerto Rico. That is fort number 10 in the city. Other 9 made out of wood. For those of you that don't live in Florida, we hate everything made out of wood. There are 6 different kind of insects in Florida that eat wood, including an African slug that'll chew through concrete. If we don't get that, we get wildfires and lightning strikes. We don't get that, we get rain and mold. If we don't get that, we get hurricanes. Right. I'll give somebody 25 points if they can tell me what the last hurricane to directly hit St. Augustine was. It was not Matthew nor Irma. No. You were ready to go, Irma. Matthew. It was before any of you were born. Let's go back to 1964 again. It was Hurricane Dora. Dora came through here like you guys. Took a tour, bought some souvenirs, took the photographs, and went on her way. You'll notice the streets are narrow. It is not because we ran out of room. They're narrow because as we cross Charlotte Street, feel the breeze pick up. This acts like a wind tunnel. So in the summer when it is hotter than heck outside, you want a breeze to keep you cooler. In the winter, the only heat you have is a cooking fire. So you're going to want the breeze to move the heat around. It'll also take the smoke out of your house. So you won't smell like a barbecue restaurant all the doggone time. All right, did you know, and if you didn't, I'll tell you, not all of America is owned by America. Did you know that?
Yes.
You do now, because up ahead on the right behind that gate, that property to this day is owned by Spain. So if the gates were open, you kind of need your passport. Go ahead and jump the fence. That's border jumping. We can arrest you and hang you from the neck till you're dead. Woohoo! All right, the statue in the middle, Queen Isabella of Spain riding a burro. Queen Isabella was a very humble monarch. She didn't want people to think her snotty, cocky, or arrogant. So instead of riding on a big, beautiful horse or out in a big, elaborate carriage, she'd ride on a burro dressed as a commoner. So let's say you live here. You're over in the Cuban bakery here. You're having a nosh, a cup of coffee. A lady comes in, kind of dressed like you are. You don't really pay her any mind. Then you look out here and you see her burro is double parked. So you're thinking, she ain't important because she's not on a big horse or in a beautiful carriage. So you go back to your conversations. I can hear you people now. Oh my God, Queen Isabella. That woman is so mean with all her taxes. I bet you she smells like feet. What? Why do you think they call them Fritos? Oh, enjoy your dinner. She's going to come back later dressed as the queen with her friends in their royal garb, and she's going to put you to death. Dun, dun, dun. Every time I tell a stupid joke, I'm not sure who it is back there or over here, but somebody keeps saying, oh God. So we're going to roll that into the religious part of our tour. That was a great segue. Right over there. That is the Grace United Methodist Church. Church built by Henry Flagler. You know what's crazy? Flagler wasn't a Methodist. Look at the archways, pillars, rose window, and bell tower. That is all red terracotta clay from Italy. The doors, perfectly balanced, 600 pounds apiece, hand-carved cedar. The reason all this came about, the Methodist owned part of the property where Flagler College sits. Henry Flagler owned the rest of it. He said, I'll give you this for that. And they said, Glorioski, that's swell. But we don't have any money to build a church. So he built them that church. The only thing with it, there's no bell. And it's not Henry Flagler's fault. They're pulling it up on a rope with a block and a tackle. They get it almost all the way to the top, and the rope breaks. The bell crashes to the ground. If you care, it's 28 feet per second squared square. That's your terminal fall velocity. When it hits the ground, it shatters, sprays metal everywhere, and kills that poor guy underneath. So sad, huh? He was a dead ringer. Oh. Really? All right, his face rang a bell. He got his bell rung. He won a Nobel Prize. He was a dumbbell. He was the first guy in history to sing My Ding-a-ling. Oh, you go for the toilet humor and everyone's like, that's funny. Up ahead on the right, that is the Flagler Memorial Presbyterian Church. All the cream, white, and gold you see, that is hand-carved terracotta clay from Italy. More rare than the red. When they were bringing that over on the boat, they were hand-carving it. Up on the roof, bronze Greek Orthodox cross. Under that's a 30-foot high, 50-foot across, solid copper dome. The pews inside are hand-carved mahogany, and there is a 5,000 pipe Aeolian Skinner organ that they play on Sundays. If you'd like to hear the organ when you get back to your hotel, bed and breakfast, or whatever, look up YouTube Flagler Church, and you'll, hear the organ. More amazing than that, they built the church 361 days, except the stained glass. That took them 12 years. Now I want to thank everybody doing train yoga on the train to get a picture. If you want to get an amazing picture, scooch over to your left. Trust me. Go over to the left. Okay. Now, take a gander out the left side of the train. With me? Now, look back that way. Oh, holy cow, Batman! That is an amazing picture. This ain't my first rodeo. Well, maybe it is. Alright, you get your great pictures. That is a postcard-worthy shot. Let's talk Henry Flagler. At about the age of 17 or so, he went to his father and said, you know what? I don't want to be a Presbyterian minister like you. I'm out of here. He left. He moved to Ohio. Went into the grain business and made a fortune. Him and John Rockefeller are friends, so they gather up their money and they open up this little company you guys might have heard of. You ever heard of Standard Oil of Ohio? If you haven't, it's ExxonMobil today. Henry Flagler owns 13 hotels in Florida. I promised to show you 3, and I will. And the Florida East Coast Railway. That went from Maine all the way to Key West. Then a hurricane came through, destroyed 91 miles of railroad, killed a bunch of people, took out a train. So now it's Maine to Miami. If you wanted to stay in the grandest, most opulent hotel of Henry Flagler, it was only open January, February, and March. You paid for all 3 months. Whether you stayed or not was up to you. As they say in that song, oop, there it is. It is now Flagler College. Under this small hull smokestack originally housed 2 coal-fire Edison boilers. This is the second hotel in the world that had electric power. The first one is the Grand Coronado in San Diego, opened 2 weeks ahead of this. We had electricity here 4.5 years before the White House had it.
See the chains?
The round part of the building is the dining room. Used to be the grand ballroom. Now look closer, you'll see the stained glass windows. That is part of the largest collection of installed Tiffany stained glass in the world. There are 79 of them in here. They're priceless. Anybody been to have you been through Ripley's, the skylights? Those are also Tiffany stained glass. Tiffany wasn't brought here to do windows. He was brought here to do the interior design on this hotel. And while he was here, he put in 79 stained glass windows. See the chains? They should be in every pirate movie ever made, and they are not. Those are harbor chains, and they served a really cool purpose. We would make one long chain out of them, run it along the bottom of our inlet. One end we hooked to a rock or a tree, the other end went to a bollard. That's a spinny thing, pulling up anchor ropes and chains. If you sailed in here under a Spanish flag and we had a Spanish governor, we welcomed you in. If you were British, French, or a pirate, we spun the bollard and raised them chains to about 4 feet below the water level, at which point in time you'd sail your wooden-hulled ship and keel over top of the spiky bits. So wooden-hulled ships aren't even, so you're going to tear chunks out of your ship. So you'll make it in okay, then bloop, 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 all the way to the bottom. Fun, fun. Over that way. That is the Via Zoraida, or what we locals refer to as the Zoraida Castle. This is a 1/10 scale mock-up of the western wing of the Alhambra Castle from Granada, Spain. Franklin Smith, he was a self-taught architect, designer, and builder from Boston. He took the family over to Granada. They fell in love with this building there, so they built it here as a winter home. At one point in time, it was a hotel, restaurant, and casino. See the pictures? That's what's going on in there right now. It is an antiquities museum, self-guided tours in French, in Spanish, and in English. This is the very first poured concrete building in the city. No rebar. See the horizontal lines? So they mixed, give or take, like 2/3 concrete, 1/3 coquina, mixed it all up. Built a frame. That's what the horizontal lines are. When they poured the concrete, they built it in the frame. It would dry in a couple days. Up, up, up. They have a 3,000-plus-year-old Egyptian cat hair rug in this building. It was rescued from an Egyptian tomb. So that's up on the 2nd floor, I think. So there you go. All right, let's have another quiz. Ready? Easy question. What happened in U.S. history on December the 7th, 1941?
Pearl Harbor.
25 points for you who just yelled out Pearl Harbor. Who did that? Great job. Now I'm going to stump you, or I'm going to try. What does Pearl Harbor have to do with St. Augustine specifically?
Coast Guard.
Have you ever heard of the United States Coast Guard? Their motto is Semper Paratus, in Latin meaning always prepared. They had their recruit training center out in San Diego. So had the Japanese actually landed on Pearl Harbor and set up, they could have launched aircraft or ship to California, Washington, and Oregon. So the Coast Guard got a little nervous. So what did they do? They closed their base there and came here, took over this building. So you could see recruits marching out here in the roads. Also, the Coast Guard Auxiliary was founded right in this building. Bonus question. Where's the Coast Guard Recruit Training Center today?
United States of America.
The beautiful little city of Cape May, New Jersey. Anybody ever been?
Why didn't you?
That is a beautiful town. I spent almost 4 years there. I was a rescue swimmer for the Coast Guard. See how much I've achieved since then? All right, Henry Flagler had a huge problem. You're bringing millionaires in over here. You're talking Carnegie Mellon, Fitch, Frick, Rockefeller, Firestone. And they have nothing, and I mean nothing, fun to do. So he bought that, go ahead. So he bought that ground over there. He built that beautiful building. And that became his less expensive fun hotel. that had the largest indoor spring-fed saltwater pool of its day. It is still in there, minus the water. Russian and Turkish baths are still in there. It had a silent movie theater and 2-lane bowling alley. Out behind it, they did tennis, badminton, squash, croquet, archery, and bicycles that we provided. This is now the Leitner Museum, Antiques, Folk Art, and Collectibles. This cost you up to $2 a night, open 365 days a year with 200 rooms. Hotel 2 and 3 making a killing. There's the pool. You can walk around in there for free. If you want to go tour the pool, you can. The round part of the building, that was for you ladies. You would change into your bathing suits right here. You would make your way to the deep end of the pool. Then we had a curtain across the deep end, because, God forbid, somebody should peek at your ankles. You know why you got the deep end, ladies? Because Henry Flagler believed if you were busy swimming or treading water, you didn't have time to gossip. That is a true story. Now don't laugh, fellas, because I'm going to let your ladies in on a secret. Guys gossip as much, if not more. You know what the difference is? You beautiful southern ladies, you're out with your lady friends. Somebody's wearing a top you hate. You're going to look at her and go, you're going to say, oh, bless your pea-picking heart, that looks amazing on you. Or I'm going to look at him and I'm going to say, you know what? You look like a dumpster fire in that shirt. And he's going to look at me and go, I know, but my wife bought me this shirt. Well, that lake just went out there. I couldn't even do that. I'd get a cramp. Welcome to Lincolnville. That is how easy this job is. Named after our 16th president, Honest Abe, Abraham Lincoln. During the abolitionist movement, we're the most important area anywhere in the southeastern United States, because we're the first free African-American community. If you were free to escape slave, come to St. Augustine. We'll give you ground. You built the blue or white house on the left, the shotgun house. Fire a shotgun in the front door, goes out the back. To keep that house, all you had to do was have a job with a paycheck. Most of those jobs were had through Henry Flagler. That house is beautiful, isn't it? That's 129 years old. This is the Jefferson Estate. That was named for Thomas Jefferson's daughter and granddaughter that lived there. So if you live here, you probably own, back in the day, this ground, and that ground. Then you would have cows or goats for milk and meat, chickens for eggs and meat. You would grow tobacco and or sugar cane to trade. Then you would grow carrots, corn, cabbage, and potatoes. To this day, if you drive west of town, there's at least 2 farms, possibly 3, where you can buy your produce right off the farm. Yes. All right, as we make the corner here, I want to talk about a fella, and I'm the only one who talks about this guy, so it's a Benji bonus. I want to talk about George Cooley. George Cooley came here from the island of Majorca. That's off the coast of Spain. He settled here, and in 1877, he established the St. Augustine Transfer Company. They were horse and carriages, picking them up out there at Flagler's Railroad, and I'll show you that in a few minutes. They were contracted to bring you into the hotels. Then when you were done with your stay, they would take you back out to the railroad. They were the oldest continually run horse and carriage company in the United States. Up ahead on the right, that is the old carriage barn. There is a carriage or 2 around. The 2 barns directly behind it are where the horses used to live. The long driveway is where you hook your horse to your carriage, and the front building is where they did horseshoes and carriage repairs. I know a little bit about it. That driveway over there, I drove the last horse and carriage out of that driveway on March 17th, 2013. I worked for those wonderful people whom I adore like family for a very short time. Give or take 25 and a half years. And let me tell you what, sitting behind the horse, driving every day, whether I was training horses, training drivers, or doing tours, I got an amazing feeling. You know what the best way to describe that feeling is? It felt like I was looking in the mirror. It's a good-looking horse. All right, by a show of hands and a woohoo, who likes wine? Woo! Let's do it again for free wine. Woo! Over there, San Sebastian Winery. That's a free tour. If you like, bring your kids, grandkids, whatever. They give them grape juice. If you like what you taste, they'll sell you bottles or cases to go. If it's legal, they will ship it to you. If you live in Florida, Publix carries it. Don't act like an idiot over here. Police department on the right. Location, location, location. Up ahead on the left, that was the Florida East Coast Railway headquarters. So from the barn to here, and right behind it, that building wasn't there 10 years ago. It's 3 blocks. Then I'd take you back into the city. It's less than half a mile. Who likes pizza? Yeah. Over there, Carmelo's. I know you're looking at me like, what? Gas station pizza? Never order sushi in a gas station. Just my advice. They have a restaurant attached, and in my opinion, for what my opinion is worth, they have the best pizza in St. Augustine, in my opinion. So you can nom that. All right, let's do it again for who likes chocolate. Over there is Whetstone Chocolate Factory. That's about $9 a person. I'll tell you what, that was a fun tour. I grew up in Pittsburgh, and I grew up near Hershey. So, you know, but it was still fun, but it was not quite what I was expecting. You know, you get an idea in your head, and no matter what, it's not that quite, you know. I went in there, and I was expecting more, you know, more, come with me, and you'll be in a world of pure imagination. 25 points for anybody who sang. Thank you. But there were no Oompa Loompas, no chocolate river, no geese that lay the golden eggs, no fizzy lifting drinks. Made me sad. Let's go back to the 1920s. Oh, just to let you guys know, we're running like 5 minutes behind the hour. If it's okay with you, I'll just continue the tour. We'll just get back 5-10 minutes late. Thumb up, good. I got one of these. All right, so we're good. Let's go back to the 1920s. Not a good time, but it was busy. First, we had the Great Depression. I look back at you folks, and I know who has the money. You have the right of way. Go ahead. That's okay. I'm being nice. Yeah, that way's right away. This way is the wrong way. But I appreciate the effort. So, then we had the worst time. Oh, by the way, 123 Burger House right there. So then, squirrel. Got distracted. Then we had the worst time in U.S. history. Prohibition. Well, because you had money, you were enjoying yourself. You beautiful ladies, you were dressed as flappers, doing the Charleston, the Lindy, riding around in automobiles, listening to amazing jazz and swing music, going to the picture shows. And if you were really rich, you had a refrigerator. Not an icebox, a real refrigerator. But they didn't work worth a darn, and they were expensive. So before that, we had an ice plant right here. So you'd have your ice delivered, then it would go to local businesses, then Henry Flagler. After World War II, that changed. People were buying cars, television, refrigerator. Our ice plant closed till about, I don't know, 20 years ago. A fella bought the building, fixed it up, and opened it up as the first legal distillery since Prohibition. Yay, another free tour! Vodka, gin, rum, and whiskey. See, he's got a glass already. Your grandchild or child will get pink lemonade. Woohoo! Yay! See, I made you happy too. All right, ladies, this is important. There is a law in St. Augustine that reads, once ladies begin to consume alcoholic beverages, they must, without question, continue to consume alcoholic beverages until the point where I look like Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right. No, it's only 2. See? Now, do I look like Matthew McConaughey? Then you didn't go in here and start hitting it. Because once you get past the Matthew McConaughey point, we're holding hair and, leaning, it's not pretty. The last tour of the day here is at 5 o'clock. So you got, and look, you know what, I don't harp on this because I think it's silly, but there's parking lots, the winery here. So you have room to park, go get a little taste of something. Yay! But I'm going to tell you this, if you're like a rum and coke drinker, their rum's good, but mixing it is pointless. If you're mixing it, go buy the cheapest garbage on the planet because you won't tell the difference. See, and she said that to you before because she just turned around. See, I told you that. I saw that head go around. I've never eaten here. Well, she said the food is good. There you go. She gave me a thumbs up, so she's got good taste. There you go. Another quiz. Let's see who knows this. One of the oldest professions in our city is... Not that, not the oldest. That is. Who said fishing? 25 points for you. Good job. It is fishing. Look at you. You're on fire right now. Move, lean back, people. She's going to go up. Well, up ahead of us on the right, you're going to see the St. Augustine Fish Camp. Not only is the seafood, from what I hear, good, look at the outriggers from the boats. You buy your fish and shrimp. When you buy it in the market, it's right off the boats. Ooh, fresh stuff. My wife said it was great. I'm allergic to seafood. I will not be eating there. All right, if you wanted to live in St. Augustine, to be honest, everybody does, you want to live in one of the beautiful old Victorian style homes. Up ahead on the right, this is one of the last original sugarcane plantation homes. It's over 100 years old. It's on an acre. It's 6 bedrooms. It's for sale. Who wants it? Asking price is $799,000. If you live in Miami, sell your 1-bedroom condo and you can pay cash. Just saying. What kills you is the taxes. I'm in St. Johns County, so what we pay a year for taxes on our house, you're going to spend a month for that. Oh look, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Avenue. Wherever you're from in the United States, you have one. The difference is there are 5 in the country named after Dr. King that he has walked on. That is one of them. In 1964, we made national news. All 3 champions. Dr. King was here preaching about the struggle. One of the struggles we were dealing with was people wanted to assassinate Dr. King, so we put Dr. King in a different house every night. Look at the yellow placard. It's got a photostack copy of where he signed their family Bible. This is Dr. Haling's house. Dr. Haling is the godfather of our civil rights movement. If you want to know more, you could walk or drive the Freedom Trail. No problem. 8.5 miles. If you don't want to do, well, you can drive it too. You could get a brochure at the visitor center. You can look up online, do a Ford Black History tour. Or I'll tell you what, I'm off work tonight. For a largely stupid, ridiculous amount of money, I'll stay in town tonight and I'll give you a Black History tour. But mine are honest and accurate, so there you go. Let's go back to the mid-1800s, the abolitionist era. Up ahead on the right, you'll see a parking lot. That is Emancipation Park. The first time ever in the state of Florida, the Emancipation Proclamation was read right here in 1862 by the Sisters of St. Joseph. One of the reasons they came here was to teach slave children how to read. We didn't finish signing it until 1866 when we abolished slavery. There's the Sisters of Mercy Convent. Catholic Church loves us. 3rd house in with the rusty roof. You know who used to visit a friend there all the time? Al Capone. So look closer. See the crawl spaces? I want to start a conspiracy theory. Jimmy Hoffa is under. What? They tore down Giant Stadium. Where is Jimmy Hoffa now? Right here. This hotel cost you 5 cents to $2 a night. If you spent the 5 cents, you know where you slept? Underneath the 2-lane bowling alley. This hotel, 200 rooms here. The Grand Ponds which is now Flagler College freshman girls' dorms, had 200 to 300 rooms. So that's 400 to 500 rooms, 800 to 1,000 people a night sleeping in Flagler's 2 hotels. Wait a minute, I told you Henry Flagler had 3 hotels. So why did he need a 3rd hotel? Especially this one, and not because it has a Starbucks in it. Henry Flagler didn't build that one. That was built by Franklin Smith. Remember the guy who built the Via Zoraida. Him and Henry Flagler are actually good friends. So Henry Flagler went to him and said, look, buddy, you go in the hotel business, we're not friends anymore. He said, oh goody, get out. Flagler laughed. Flagler then sent a telegram to the Florida East Coast Railway that said, hey Florida East Coast Railway, Henry Flagler here. Could you please do me a favor? Could you stop the train with Franklin Smith's furniture on it, please? P.S. If you don't, I'll fire every one of you. He owned the railroad. They stopped the train and hit it. Big building, no money, no furniture, and a mortgage. He's slowly going bankrupt, Franklin Smith is. Right before he does, he apologizes to Henry Flagler and asks him for help. Henry Flagler said, okay, I'll help you, but you're not making any money in this deal. Flagler bought him out at 9 cents on the dollar. Oh wait, don't yet. Remember the train that they hit? He got that in the deal too. 3 months later, he was open as his 3rd hotel. Henry Flagler was a ruthless businessman. Let's say you and I are in business with him, even 2 different businesses. He would keep you and I arguing. So we never got together and went, wow, Henry Flagler's a jerk face. Hey, that statue right over there. That is a life-size statue of Don Juan Ponce de Leon, all 5 feet 1 inches tall of him. You ever heard the expression, you don't measure up? If you wanted to get on his boat, you didn't measure up? You did not get on his boat. He wanted to be a big man. All right, you want stupid, useless trivia? Yes. Anybody? Yes. All right, over there, the tan building, that is Trade Winch Tropical Lounge. It's a bar, been here forever. You know who played there once and they said, oh my God, you're terrible. Never come back. Not Elvis. Jimmy Buffett. We did not want his cheeseburger in our paradise. All right. Up ahead on the right, that is the Cathedral de St. Augustine Basilica. That is a minor basilica based on its age. Major basilica means a miracle occurred there. They say no miracle. I disagree, because last time I walked in there, I didn't burst into flames. When I walk in the Catholic Church, I do. Has anybody been to St. Patrick's Cathedral, New York City? Same guys built and designed this one. If you get a minute, go in, light a candle for me. I need the help. Up above the door is a statue. That is St. Augustine the Moor. He's blessing us as we go by. You know how we got the name St. Augustine? Do you want to know?
Yeah.
But wait, there's more. The Spanish are very religious Catholics. So they left the old world and set sail for the new when they first sighted land here. It was right before St. Augustine's feast day. That's August 28th. So they named us St. Augustine. Had they been here before July 15th, we would have been the city of St. Swithin. You know, don't laugh, you met him yesterday. Patron saint of rain and weather. St. Augustine, patron saint of brewers and brewing. See the 3rd piece of stained glass? One of 4 in the world, signed by Louis Comfort Tiffany. Tiffany stained glass and lamps. Oh, some of you might be old enough to remember this. See where the Wells Fargo and the jewelry store is? Look at the push bars. That used to be our Woolworths. Remember Woolworths? We were one of the last Woolworths in the world with a lunch counter. I went in there where I ordered a hamburger, french fries, and a chocolate Coke. Anybody ever chocolate Coke? See, he's yeah, chocolate syrup and a Coke. Oh my God. It is yummy. And if you're not diabetic, well, you'll be there. And it was only $3. On the right is Avali Street, named for our sister city, Avali, Spain. Used to be called Hospital Street. Down on the left is the military hospital. We had a 70% survival rate. If you had an arm or a leg, nasty infection, 5 minutes or less, off it comes. No anesthetic. All the red bricks are a Henry Flagler project on the roads. Originally, these were all dirt roads. So, If you're driving horses, cows, giraffes through town, they're dropping landmines everywhere. Then you know what happens? It rains, and our city streets turn into Nutella. Enjoy your hazelnuts. Henry Flagler went to the city and said, look, I'm bringing millionaires into town. Could you pave some streets? They say, yous are rich and that, you do it. He said, fine. Got a hold of R.J. Reynolds up in North Carolina. They used to make bricks. He sent the Florida East Coast Railway after them. Well, remember, he owns the railroad. No